Hey, everybody, it's Holly,
And Heather.
and welcome to another Sunday edition. We're back at it, back to the regular schedule of everything Elvis. Hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday. Heather and I feel like we're still recuperating,
Yeah.
but grab your coffee, and I've even got some water in my handy new Elvis Lee tumbler. You're welcome. Grab a snack. We've got lots to talk about today. There's a ton of stuff. We've been talking about Elvis Week the last couple of weeks, I feel like we've been home a month, but yet I feel like we just got home.
Yeah.
But there's still tons to talk about, tons to reminisce about, highs, lows, you name it. We'll answer your burning questions and see some comments. So Heather, how's your last couple of days been back home?
Tell you what, it's like a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, a lot of different things. Number one, yeah, because it's like trying to catch up on everything. Because, we've been gone for like 11 days, 12 days. So it's trying to, catch up on dad and work and house chores and mowing.
I'll be honest, our house is a wreck.
Yes.
It's
and
a wreck.
all the stuff. It's also like sad because Elvis week is over. Because we love it so much. We look so forward to it. It is so much fun. And so you're literally on this high for like the 9 days. And then when it's over, it's like,
Another call it like Elvis Week Blues.
I know that's what Dean Z tagged it on the Graceland beat. He was like, it's like the Elvis Week blues, and it really is. Like you like get so sad, you miss like all the people and the like energy and the excitement, and 24/7 Elvis, Elvis, Elvis.
And I'll tell you what, this was we always say it, but this is one for the books. This may be the book of Elvis Weeks for us.
Yeah.
And you're right. The energy and just the magic surrounding every aspect of it was just so wonderful. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. So it's hard to like come back from it and
Yeah.
then be like, great, now it's a whole nother year until the next Elvis week.
We've got birthday's coming up, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab my iPad. I forgot it.
Okay.
So Heather,
Okay.
talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, it is like sad coming off of it because like I said, it's like such a highlight for us personally. And then I know for a lot of you and a lot of you that win and a lot of Elvis fans and everything, it really is like the pinnacle that we all like look forward to and everything. So yeah, it is really super sad when it's over. And then you have to wait a whole nother year. But the great thing about Elvis and the Elvis world is that I feel like there's always something going on, whether it be a festival or an ETA show somewhere, an Elvis documentary that's coming up with Baz Luhrmann. Very soon, very soon. Or, just some other like happening in the Elvis world and stuff. So there's always something going on, always something happening. Um, but I tell you what, like Holly said, this year was definitely a banner year for Holly and I in so many ways. If you followed us over this Elvis week, you know exactly what we are talking about. And we were like reminiscing in the hotel like the last night of Elvis week, and we were like, yeah, we don't know how we're going to top this one. We don't know how we're going to top this one. So next year will be interesting, but also it's interesting that we are getting closer and closer to the 50th anniversary. It's so hard to believe that, yeah, the 50th anniversary is going to be here before you know it. And I can't even imagine like what all's going to happen on the 50th. Holly and I are already getting nervous about it because I think everybody is planning for the 50th. This year, a lot of you were asking about like the crowds and stuff. And I will say, I feel like this started off a little slow and then it picked up each day. But I felt like it was a pretty good crowd this year, especially for, most of the shows, especially the ETA shows and stuff, the, Elvis Tribute Artist Contest, all seemed to be sold out and really, really packed. As we were like walking around the complex and stuff, there seemed to be a lot of people. Like I said, each day got more and more and more. The candlelight visual, quite a bit of people. Like we got there at it started at 8:30. We got there a little before 8, and we didn't even get through. We waited till like everybody went through. We just kind of did our little chillaxing in our chairs, enjoying the ambiance and the music and the people, and just watching the beautiful like line of people and candles go up to the meditation garden. So we pretty much were some of the last people to go through. Like when we came back down, I would say as we walked past another probably 200 people.
Maybe. Yeah.
But we didn't even get done till it was I looked exactly at my watch because I wanted to know 12:22. So 12:22 p.m. is when we got done with the candlelight visual. But like I said, it was still pretty busy. But I really think that so many people, because Elvis Week is an investment. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, it is.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It like my little piggy bank and savings is dry. It's bone dry. I got to build it back up. I got a year. I got to build it back up. But Elvis Week is very expensive. I mean, when you take into consideration everything, if you have airfare or even just gas, travel expenses, hotels, food, tickets, tickets. You're gonna want to buy some goodies, and so it's very, very expensive. So I think a lot of people are saving up to attend the 50th, and I think it's just going to be like packed. So Holly and I were like, my point is that night, Holly and I were literally in the hotel room and we were talking about, Elvis Week is over, but the 50th is coming. And we were literally like, we're so nervous, like how hard it's going to be to get tickets.
I know,
how hard it's going to be to get tickets and things for the 50th, because it is going to be, I think, so busy and so crazy. So
it is. I'm just making sure we look a little blurry on the thing, but it's probably our internet connection.
Yeah.
You know how that is.
But yeah, I can't wait to see, what all they have planned for the 50th and stuff, and what guests they try to get, and on the side there. What guests they try to get and everything, what shows they come up with. So but yeah, it was a fantastic Elvis Week, and thank all of you all out there. You all are a huge part of our Elvis Week, and you make it even more fun for Holly and I, because we're already like kids in a candy store at Elvis Week, like going to the shows and like checking out like the gift shops and everything. We get so excited, and usually if we didn't get on our Facebook lives and do our recaps, she and I would just, all the way in the car would be like, did you see, when Jay did this? Did you see when Dwight sang this song? And we'd be recapping. So it's so fun to like recap with y'all.
And I'm living for the comments.
Yes.
Comments
have been golden.
They are gold. Some are so poignant, some are so lovely, some are so hilarious. I mean,
but it's so much fun, and y'all, like I said, are a big part of that. Y'all add even more to mine and Holly's like enjoyment and our excitement and our passion of Elvis Week. So yes, if you followed us along and you shared our videos, you commented, whatever, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And again, I feel like this year, as every year, we grew our Elvis bestie family and community even more. So many more of you joined us for the first time ever. And we met so many of you while we were there. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and it's good. We did like a little farewell and recap sort of on the last day of Elvis Week. But, you kind of have to let a few days get in between you and the event so you can really like process and think about everything. And y'all know us, if you've been here before, we like to always do the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the highlights, things we could change, and like try to give little tidbits of information along the way. I've already got it. Heather and I are working on it already, because a lot of people are going to try to go to the 50th, like she was saying, or you may want to go next year. I mean, next year might actually be an awesome time to go because it won't be that crowded. Like if you don't enjoy crowds and you have social anxiety, next year's your year to go.
And let's face it, is there ever really a bad time to go to Elvis Week?
No, because we'll be there. We'll be there.
Elvis Week is always great.
But yeah, so we're going to plan a lot of great lives and videos this year, kind of guiding you along. And because I feel like every year we pick up something new, like a new piece of knowledge or information that we can pass on to you guys to make your Elvis Week experience a little better, a little easier, a little cheaper. So we're going to be working on all that. So lots planned. But we thought today we'd, kind of deep dive into a couple of aspects maybe we haven't gotten to, or a couple of guests. And I mean, there was so much, it's so hard to cover. And we just keep, we'll get on a tangent and then we'll forget to, mention a ton.
Or if you're like us, maybe you were busy and you didn't have a chance to watch every single like video or every single moment, or you just like to relive over and over. That's me.
That is you.
I like to,
Heather will be
I'll-
reminiscing about this
Yes.
for weeks.
Yeah. I'll watch a movie a million times. I will listen to the same song on repeat 50 times.
True.
I will tell the same story a million times. I love to relive.
I just died. Y'all,
Oh,
we're so unprepared. I literally, none of my electronics are
Are
charged.
they not working?
Well,
You got your charger plugged in.
I know, but it went off, so I don't know. Maybe it needs a moment. I'm gonna give it a moment to like battery power up. Let's try.
You can go get mine. I mean, it probably needs to be charged as well, but
But like I say, y'all, last leg. We're on our last leg over here, but that's okay. That's okay. First thing I wanted to tell everybody, because so many people in the comments were asking about it.
oh yeah,
Oh, we forgot to mention it.
Yeah.
There was so much to talk
Well,
about.
it was
last farewell.
it was the last day.
Yeah. Yeah. So Heather, why don't you talk about that? It is
Mhm.
what we held
Mhm.
during our special gold package photo op.
Yeah, and just for those of you that don't know, so as we say, you can do individual tickets or packages for Elvis Week. There's an top tier, really expensive package, and then a second one. Holly and I usually do the second one, and you always get a photo op with both, and they always let you hold a very special Elvis artifact, and they're different. The platinum package gets to hold something different than the gold, but our photo op this year was on the very last day, which was really interesting because it's usually, I feel like, within the mix. So we did our farewell Facebook Live before we got our photo, didn't we? I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's all
Anyway, but yeah, so we got to hold a really cool item. And we had you guys guess that was actually our last bestie of the day giveaway. But what we got to hold, so there is a club, and I don't think it's there any longer,
No.
actually. But it's called the Eagles, or was called the Eagles Nest, and it was this big club in Memphis, and it's one of the first places that Elvis and Billy and Scotty performed and sang at. And I think they did 20 something shows there or something,
Quite a
like in
few.
1954. And there's some great pictures of Elvis just sitting and hanging at the club that Angie actually shared last year when she did a little archives thing. And he looks so young.
Yes.
I mean, he looks so young. Well, I mean, in 1954, he would have only been 19.
Right.
But he looked so baby faced and so young. But what we got to hold, and it was so cool because they actually had one of the pictures blown up on the wall as you go into a part of the complex museums.
Mhm.
And Elvis was sitting there and wearing the shoes. We got to hold these really cool black and white, patent leather.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
Black and white. You guys know them. You've seen
Kinda like
Elvis
this-
wear them.
Didn't they call them saddle Oxfords?
Maybe.
They're called
Maybe,
50s.
but they were those actual shoes that he was wearing in that photo and that he wore when he performed at the Eagles Nest.
Yeah.
Y'all, actual shoes. Shoe.
And I'll say
That
this.
Elvis wore.
I'm gonna be honest. When we first got there,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't real excited. Because you all know me, I'm looking for a cape, a scarf. I was wanting his hair comb. I'm looking for something.
Sunglasses.
Jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Heather, Heather in her own way, she was like, Holly, but think about this. And the photographer guy, what is his name? Robert? Is it Robert?
Yes.
He's the official Graceland photographer. He was there, and he's a Memphian, and was saying that, this shoe is so special because this is when Elvis didn't have any money. This is when he's first starting out. So he probably bought these shoes special for his performances, and he wore them practically every time. So
Mhm.
20, 30 plus shows, maybe more.
Maybe more.
Until he could get the money to, probably have the gazillion shoes he had towards the end of his life. So I got to thinking about it. I was like, that is something personal.
Yeah.
That was his shoe that he wore continually on the brink of his success. So then it made it really special. So then I was pumped.
Well, it's just
Then I was pumped.
yeah, it's just really cool that it's just mind-boggling when you think about it that stuff like that from that long ago still exists.
I know.
And
it was in really good shape.
yes, and that they're shoes that were on Elvis Presley's feet, shoes that Elvis
Multiple
Presley
times.
wore. Yeah, let me see. I was trying to find the picture because I know that it's on here somewhere.
I'm sure it is.
Well,
That's it. But his shoes
yeah,
cut
I know
off.
They cut it off. They cut it
If you
off.
touch it, it might open up. Look, if you click on it, go to the website, it might. But
Let's see. But yeah,
and that was also a great added benefit too of the photo, because you actually we'll show it to you when we get it. I think they've got to email it to us. But it's Elvis is
They do.
behind us, and you're actually holding the shoe right where his shoe in the picture is. So
Okay.
it just made it even better.
This is it right here, y'all. I don't know if you can see.
That's the shoe.
Can y'all see it? So that's the picture. That's the shoe right there. That's the shoe we got to hold in the picture. And it was cute too because it had like a little I don't know if any of y'all were ever like tap dancers or cloggers.
Yeah.
But it had like a little tap on the bottom of it as well. And I think the lady, the archive lady, didn't she tell you that like he put those on there for like sound?
Yeah.
Like so that when he like moved, there would be like a tap and there would be sound and stuff.
So that was cool.
So yeah, so it was super cool. So as soon as we get those back, they usually send those photos a couple weeks after Elvis week. They'll email them to us. So as soon as they do, I'll share them. I'll post them on Holly's Facebook and stuff. But I was super excited about it because, like I said, anything that Elvis like actually like owned, wore, like
you're right.
and he was probably, like I said, that was like early days, so he probably was really proud, because I know like our dad, he always tells stories about like when he was fresh out of high school and stuff, and he finally started making like a little money and stuff. He would literally save money and go buy like a really nice shirt.
Yeah.
And he was so excited and so proud, that he was able to get like a really nice shirt and stuff that he could like go on dates with mom and stuff like that. So I don't know, I just think about Elvis, and then just how excited he probably was performing at that Eagle's Nest, and that was like the bud of his career.
It's not there anymore. That's sad.
I know.
I wonder if the building is and it's just changed to something else. We need to look at that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Then let's see. Let's talk about. I know how there's so much to talk about. We're trying to do it in a concise fashion. I don't know. Y'all comment and tell us if there's something you want to know about Elvis Week, and hopefully that'll get us off on a tangent. Head, you can look at some comments and see if there's any burning questions about Elvis Week or something y'all want to know about, or a person you want to know about, a guest, a show.
Tell us what your favorite event or show was. Was there one you wanted to hear more about? A guest you wanted to hear more about? Let's see. Let me look at some comments.
Yes, look at some comments. And thank y'all for joining us. We have so many people on here. I did a slightly different time change, but because Heather and I are both dead tired. So,
yeah.
Oh, I know. I think it's going to be next week before I'm fully recouped. I don't know how the performers and stuff do it. And like probably the Elvis Week staff, I hope they give them all like a week off. I mean, they have to be exhausted. It.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Let's see. Hello, Michelle. She says she hopes we've gotten some rest. A little. And it was so great to see you at Elvis Week. Hello, Deborah. Thank you. Terry, she says, I love following you. You both are so cute. Well, thank you. Hello, Deborah. She says she enjoyed going along with us once again. Let's see. Mikkel, greetings from Holland.
Wow. Well, hello.
I love that. Oh, hello, Jennifer. She says for the 2 days that they were there, it was amazing.
I know, that's what everybody's saying. Whether you were there the whole time like us, or a lot of people just pop in for a couple of days, 3 days. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if that's all you can do, then do it. You know?
Just pick the days that mean the most to you, the most important things you want to see or do. And
like look at the lineup of shows or guests, or a lot of people love to come, especially the Candlelight Vigil, and do that. They love to come like the 15th and stay the 16th and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's so worth it. Whether it's 1, 2, 5, all 9 days. Oh, cool. Cindy says she went and saw Jay Dupuis last weekend. He was great. We'll talk a little bit more about that show because that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, Margaret. From the Kennedys.
And this is going to be a big year. I see. This is like at least the rest of this year.
Oh, hey, Vicky. How are you?
Another highlight.
How's Dwight? Are you all recovered?
Highlights, Vicky and Dwight.
Yeah, definitely.
Always highlight. It's going to be a big year. So we've got lots in store with all the bad stuff and all of the lighting ceremony, and a lot of the ETAs are having great Christmas shows and festivals. So there's still a lot going on. But all right, let me think. Let me get a topic about Elvis Week that we haven't talked about. Let's talk about food, because that's so important to me. And we didn't have much, but what we had was really good. I'll say this. I'm going to give a little shout out. I don't know about you guys, y'all that went to Elvis Week, but I felt like they had really stepped it up with their staff. Everybody, at the guest house, at any banquet event we had, over at the complex. Everyone was so lovely, so accommodating, so friendly, so nice. Even, the ticketing booth, everybody was just so great. And our food, I'll tell you what, we ate at the EP Grill and over at Gladys's. Dude, I don't think we ate at Vernon's this year. I can't believe that. But I don't
We
think
actually
did.
didn't. We actually
didn't.
We got all excited about our walking tacos, and I love y'all's comments about that because so many of you all, I guess, I don't know, I guess I just thought everybody knew what a walking taco was.
Maybe it's a Southern thing.
But so many people like commented on that thing, and I didn't have a chance to respond until I saw it like later. But people were like, "What is a walking taco?" And then somebody was like, "I had to Google it to see what it was."
I know. I think up north they might call it a Frito pie. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but anyway, here at the fairs, they're big time and they're really cute because at the fair, the reason it's a walking taco is they literally just open up the bag of chips, whether it be like Fritos or Doritos or whatever, and they literally cut it lengthwise and they just fill it with all your toppings and chili and all that good stuff, and then you just walk around the fair and eat it. So we were pumped, and I thought that's what it was going to be when we went to Gladys's. It was just like I thought, okay, they'll just open up a little bag of Doritos or whatever. Oh no,
but they
y'all
did,
saw the
and they
picture,
dumped it into
and
it.
it was like I feel like it was 2 bags. Like it was huge. Heather and I could have split it, but did we not? So that was a welcome surprise. That was really good, and we had a hot dog, and it was real good.
Yeah.
EP's Grill was always fantastic. We had nachos there. We had fries.
We had a salad.
Yeah, salad. Like all of the food, I feel like they also had stepped
We
up.
didn't get a chance to do deltas this year, and we really wanted to.
I know, but there was just no time.
Yeah.
And then I'll say
that's
this
great
too.
breakfast buffet too.
The banquet food for all of our like events that were catered, I thought it was great.
And that was another good thing this year. I feel like with our package and stuff, a lot of times you do get like brunches or like dinners and things. But I feel like that within the package this year, they stepped it up as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in years past, there's maybe like one event that has like a brunch. And then some, or maybe like one event that has a dinner. But this year we literally had 2 brunches with the Blue Hawaii movie and then the Girls. And then we had a pre-candlelight vigil dinner.
Which saved us. It saved
really,
us.
Yeah, really good. Was it just the 3?
No, and then they had the charcuterie. They had like appetizers at the meet and
Oh,
greet.
yeah, at the meet and greet.
And I think there were a couple of dinners, actually. I think there was the vigil, but then I think there was at least one more. I can't think of it now. But
yeah, and then we had the thing at the very first day with the ETA meet and greet.
Right. That was like a brunchy type thing. I'm telling you. So kudos to Graceland. I thought that was a great idea.
It really saved Holly and I because we're always running and so busy. We don't have time.
I know. And the shows, sometimes they can run long or they put them close together, which I'm fine with. Because the more things I can go to, perfect. But yeah, it's just so good to be able to like not have to worry about where you're getting your food from. And it was actually good. And like I say, the staff was wonderful. So kudos. Food this year, even though on our own we didn't get to eat enough.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have eaten it all if it hadn't been for all these banqueted events. So we literally, I can count on one hand the other times we ate.
I mean, there was one day we
just didn't eat. We just didn't eat, which was fine. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So the food, staff, overall, fantastic. I don't have one bad thing. I mean, do you? I don't have one bad thing to say about it. I thought it was all great.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the guests? Because there's a couple we haven't talked about that we had left out. We forgot. Well, we didn't forget her, but there was so much to talk about on our farewell. But Brenda Lee.
Yeah, well, somebody was asking, let's see, who was it? Catherine. She was saying, did we meet Tony Orlando or Brenda Lee?
Okay.
We did not. And I'll tell you what, it's like, like so many missed opportunities. Because like I said, even though like Holly and I did not stay at the guest house because we can't afford it, especially with like, the packages and everything else. So we usually stay outside of Memphis, but we love to go to the guest house and we try to go there as much as we can, like either in between shows to decompress or grab a quick bite or do one of our Facebook lives, as you saw we did at the guest house outside, or we just try to like go there after the shows and stuff and hang out. But I swear we must have been like passing ships in the night because again, Holly and I also are like nonstop. Like if you were there this year, I know we ran into a couple of you and you commented and you were like, I swear that you and Holly, I feel like I see you all running and like I see you everywhere and you're here and then you're here and then you're over here and then you're here and then I have just seen you and then you pop up on my phone, you're doing a Facebook live and I'm like, how are they doing this? But yeah, we're running so much and like trying to get all the like places we want to show you all and the videos we want to like share and stuff that we like didn't have an opportunity when they were at the guest house to get to see them, you know, because the great thing about the guest house is that's where all the guests stay, all the like stars and the guests and stuff stay. And a lot of times, you know, when they get done with their events and stuff, they will hang out in the lobby for a little bit, or, you know, maybe they'll come down later that afternoon or night or something, and they'll be available for a little bit, you know, to meet and greet with guests and stuff. But yeah, anytime we were there, because Holly really wanted to meet Tony Orlando.
I really did, y'all.
And I really wanted to meet Brenda Lee. But yeah, and I saw a bunch of like people, and like, you know, some of our besties and stuff that were like, you know, got a picture with Brenda Lee in the lobby, and we were like, darn it, we must have just missed her. So, but we didn't get to meet them, but we will talk about them because they were both a little highlight.
And I'll say a little tidbit though. That's what I'm saying. If you do want to meet them and you do want a picture, just hang out in the guest house lobby. Just
because again, you don't have to stay there to like go and enjoy the lobby and the music
like
and the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. So, Brenda Lee and Tony Orlando. Let's talk about this. Brenda Lee only made her one appearance at the Conversations. But it was well worth it. I mean, it was short, it was concise, it was sweet, but it was impactful. She is a doll. We love her so much. And this was what I consider a very almost rare appearance, because, you know, we live here in Nashville, and there's been many a time where she has been booked to be on something, and then just for other reasons, you know, health or whatever, she can't attend. So she doesn't get out a lot here in Nashville. So it was a treat to see her in Memphis. She had great stories of Elvis. She had great pictures. It was so sweet to see Angie come out with her record collection that Elvis had actually owned. She teared up. She did. I'll tell you what, she was making me tear up though, because she really was so insightful and thoughtful about Elvis. And she just said that, you know, the one thing she could say about Elvis above all else was that he truly, truly loved and respected and wanted the best for his fans. That, you know, because she's been around a long time, when we talked about it, she's seen them come and go. And there's a ton of Nashville artists, you know, that will remain nameless, that portrayed that they love their fans, but they don't really. They just like performing and all the accolades that the fans give them. Elvis truly, and I she was meaning that from her heart, and I've really believed her. So wonderful to see her.
Brenda Lee is just like, she's just a doll. Like, you know, like she's 80 years old now. But like sitting there watching her and listening to her, she's still such a light and so much like energy and everything. And just to think about her and the icon that she is in music and the career that she has had. I mean, we're talking like since what, she was 10 years old. She came onto the scene, and good heavens to Betsy, her voice when she was 10 years old was like
dynamite. I guess that's why she got her name.
I mean, it was just like unbelievable. But she was just so sincere and so precious. And you could tell that she had such an admiration for Elvis. Like, she was such a fan. And you could tell that she loved him so much. Not like loved him, but like loved him, you know, so much and everything. You could just like tell that he really meant a lot to her. And that she was so excited to be at Elvis Week, and, you know, just to share that, you know, with the fans. Because like Holly said, she just kept, you know, reiterating how much, you know, he loved his mom and how much he loved the fans and everything, and how, you know, this was a cool experience for her to get to like share that with his fans still to this day. You know, and that he would be so proud and, you know, love it so much that we were all still there and still gathering year after year in his memory and in his honor and stuff. So yeah, she was just like delightful. I just loved her. I mean, I already loved her, but I mean, I don't know, just her like magnetism. Like when she came out on the stage and just how she like treated Tom and like interacted with him and interacted with the audience and everything. She was just absolutely precious.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, she's had such a storied career. I bet you could throw out any name in entertainment and she'd either had met them, know them, or have a story about them. And I think that'd be fascinating. I mean, I love all the Elvis stuff, but hey, I could listen to her for an hour just talking about her career. Because she's not only a country music legend, she is a rock music legend. She is a pioneer in both fields. So, so yes, I would definitely
love to bring Brenda Lee back.
She was great.
She was.
She should write a book.
You know,
She
surely,
has.
surely she, yeah, has she? Does anybody know? Or surely she's working on one because yeah, she really
She-
has.
I
that
hope so,
interesting-
because she's
Because wasn't it her that was also wasn't it her that was also talking about, because she was talking about her and Elvis had like the mutual like love and respect and relationship with their moms. Did she say that she lost her mom
I don't know.
at a young age?
That's sad. I don't know much about her personal life and stuff. I don't
Well,
really
she
know.
mentioned it. I don't know. I'm going to research it. But
Yeah.
anyway, she was incredible.
A doll.
Great addition.
Yes. Who do you want to talk about?
Tony Orlando.
Okay, Tony Orlando.
Tony Orlando.
My new love. I want him back every year now. I'm telling y'all what. I hope Heather taped it. We just, like I said, we just did bits and pieces of different shows and different conversations. But you know, y'all, we talked about it. He told that beautiful story about, you know, the day before Elvis died, and I didn't realize they were that close. Like I didn't realize. I should have, because
Well, he told like a really cool, because yeah, I mean I kind of knew who Tony Orlando was, but not really. Like I definitely knew the tie a yellow ribbon.
yeah, I
around
mean,
the old oak tree. I feel like everybody knows that.
everybody should know that. Yes.
But I didn't know like much about him and his like connection and relationship to Elvis.
Mhm.
But the background is amazing because he basically talked about that he was, you know, performing in Vegas,
Mhm.
and it was, listen to this, heavy hitters. It was him, Kenny Rogers, and Lee Greenwood.
I guess when they were all first starting out.
Yes. And they were all performing in Vegas, and they were all trading off doing shows, because apparently you would have, you know, like a 8 o'clock show, a 10 o'clock show, a 12 o'clock show, and then like keep going all into the wee hours in the morning. And like, what was it, a 6 a.m. show?
Yeah,
I was talking
this is a
about.
cute story,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a 6 a.m. show that somebody had to do. And Tony was like, so guess who had to do the 6 a.m. show? He was like, me. And, you know, I think he said like the venue or the theater or whatever sat like 300 people, 600 people, 600 people. And he was like, you know, and it was always like packed, like the 8 o'clock, the 10 o'clock. And he was like, so you can imagine though, at 6 a.m., he's like, it's not a packed show. He was like, usually it was literally me and the maitre d', and the maitre d' was like asleep, like asleep on the table. And he's like, so I'm just like giving it my all, performing to this maitre d'. Well, Vernon would come see his show.
Because actually, Vernon and Tony were friends before.
That's what I was
Tony
going to
and
say.
Elvis were.
Yeah. So Vernon would come see his show, and he, one time Vernon like came and saw that it was just this maitre d', and he went and told Elvis. You know, and he was like, hey, you know, Tony Orlando's doing this show like 6 a.m. There's nobody there, you know, whatever. And so like the next night or two, whatever, at, I think he said it was the midnight show that he was doing, he said Elvis showed up.
Oh, I thought it was the 6 a.m. show.
No, I think it was.
Okay,
I think it was the midnight show, because remember he said it was like a crowd of people and everything,
Okay.
and like, so yeah, he says Elvis shows up to the show, comes out on stage, and of course, you know, Tony says he's dying, everybody's dying because it's Elvis Presley, and like says Elvis just walks across the stage, and the funny thing is he said that there was no like exit on like the other side of the stage, like it went into the bar, and so he's like Elvis was trapped. He was like he couldn't get out, so he was like I had him, you know, and he like had to kind of like stay and like whatever. But he said after that, just because Elvis came and showed up at his show and people were so like thrilled, he said after that, every single show he did, even at 6 a.m., was packed because people were like, is Elvis coming? Is Elvis going to come out? But yeah, he also told, yeah, this beautiful story about how him and Vernon were like good friends and close long before Elvis, and that they would literally like hang out
Yeah, I
and
think
have
they had
coffee and
breakfast or
have
coffee
breakfast,
every day.
and they would talk and, you know, had a really great relationship and stuff. And then over time, you know, it evolved into a really good close friendship with Elvis. So
Mhm. Yeah, so that was beautiful.
Mhm.
And
tell
We
the story about his bingo,
Okay,
because some of you may not have heard this,
Right.
because
and I'm gonna try to find the video. I hope Heather taped it, so because it's
I did.
coming from Tony, but I'll give y'all a little.
I hadn't heard it, but
So-
that was another moment that I cried.
So Tony Orlando, you know, evidently had a rough patch in his career where he got a little bit of addiction, you know, I think to drugs and alcohol. I'm not sure. And he said he came out of it, and Frank Sinatra offered him his penthouse or condo or something in New York for him to recuperate for a few weeks after that, after he got out of like I guess the rehab center. So he's there, and he said all of a sudden on August 15th, I think it was 15th, he just gets this weird feeling about Elvis, like this weird premonition kind of feeling. So he calls him at like 10 p.m. that night. Elvis doesn't answer. And he's like, he's on my mind. And he's like, we had the same press agent, PR person. And I'm talking to him about it. And he's like, at this point, no one really knew about Elvis's health struggles or his drug problems. It wasn't common knowledge. So Tony's like, I just had this bad feeling. And then I started getting a bad feeling about Priscilla and Lisa Marie and all this. So he said, I couldn't get a hold of him all night. So he's like, the next morning at like the crack of dawn, as soon as the sun comes up, he said there was this church a couple of blocks down the road. And he said, I made a beeline. He's like, I beeline to that church. And he's like, the whole time, Elvis, Priscilla, and Lisa are on my mind, and I'm praying for them. And he's like, I go to the church. I believe he's Catholic, and you know those Catholic churches where you go in, you can light the candle and like say a little prayer. So he's like, I lit a candle for Elvis, for Lisa, and for Priscilla, and I just prayed. You know, I didn't know what was going on, but just praying that God would wrap Himself around them, and just he said this beautiful, eloquent prayer that I can't recall. But anyway, he said then he leaves the church, he goes right back to his home, and he's sitting there, and lo and behold, the PR man's like, you need to sit down because I've got some news. And it was the news that Elvis had died. Can y'all believe that?
Chills.
Chills. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. We were all bawling. It was such a moment. I'm gonna tell you what a wonderful guy. He is the epitome of an entertainer. I mean, the man is just Mr. Entertainment. And you can just tell that. He loves it. He loves the fans. It was so fun to hear him sing. But even more than that, I just loved his stories and just him talking.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that really cute, like New Yorker kind of northern accent and stuff, and just seems like such a great guy. So I'm hoping Tony Orlando comes back.
Yeah, and it was really cool to have him there because he said that he had been in retirement for the last year. So this is kind of one of the
special
first things that he did, and so that was awesome.
I know. So Tony Orlando, he's on my Elvis Week 2026 list, that my fake list that I'm making, or it's my secret list.
Yes.
Then let's talk about a little bit about all the authors, and then we'll get back to some performers.
Okay.
Switching a note, they had some heavy hitting authors. Of course, Peter Guralnick was there. That was a main focus of this Elvis Week because there is not only the Colonel Tom Parker book that just came out that Peter wrote, there is also the exhibit. They also had a couple of panels with close friends and co-workers of the Colonel. And I'll say this, it was really interesting, very eye-opening, a couple of mind-blowing moments. We don't have the book yet. We're going to get it and read it, but I'm telling you what, it's like that thick. And y'all know me, I'm still on my quest reading his Elvis book. But I'll tell you what, he had some great insight. We learned a lot, and I want to say more about the other side of the Colonel, I guess. It was very controversial because a lot of fans just hate the Colonel and villainize him. A lot of the fans, it's like half hate him and half, I think, are willing to have an open mind and give it a chance. I would fall in that camp of, in the past, yes, have I thought he was the utmost absolute villain? Absolutely. But as time has went on and you hear more truths and information and these documents come out and these, because evidently he was a prolific letter writer, telegram writer, postcard, you name it. And you cannot argue with the fact if you've got a document from the 60s or 70s or whatever that is authentic. So it really opened our eyes up. So now I'm in the camp of I'm keeping an open mind. I'm waiting to read this book. I'm going to see how it goes. And of course, it's like we say, we watched the conversations with his friends, and it was like Charles Stone, his wife, and then who was the third guy? I cannot remember. But they all had worked with the Colonel, and Charles Stone was very close to the Colonel. They had some really interesting things to say. They painted him in a much friendlier, warmer, loyal, upbeat, happy person than I thought. There was a couple of little things. Like, I'll tell you this, one thing that no one liked, because everybody kept coming up to us and saying, is Mark Cogan. Cogan, thank you. Charles Stone was, trying to uphold the Colonel, which I see it. They're friends. But then he made a little comment and said, Elvis only worked an hour a day. And we were all like,
yeah.
No,
he was talking about it. He was talking about it in reference to, he was like trying to make a point that he was saying, a lot of people always say that the Colonel worked Elvis to death.
Oh, yes.
And he was like, and then after he said that, he was like, come on. He was like, Elvis worked 1 hour a day.
You don't say that. You just, especially in a room full of
I was like, Charles Stone, I think you're about to be stoned.
I was like, you got to walk the line, buddy. You got to walk the line
Yeah.
right now.
Well, and that's that kind of that thing, it's like Holly and I always say, there's always two sides to every story.
Right.
There's always people's own perceptions and their own, ideas they have about, or recollections they have about people or a situation or whatever, But yeah, that like really struck a lot of us like really wrong and stuff because I'm thinking like, okay, number one, how dare you? Because it's Elvis. He paid your bills. He provided for your family with that 1 hour of work a day. And number two, it is not just 1 hour of work a day. And that 1 hour of work is mentally, especially, and physically more exhausting than a lot of other, like jobs and stuff. And plus all the like stuff that goes into that 1 hour.
I was gonna say it's like that
Like
old
all the
adage.
stuff that goes into that 1 hour of performance. There's rehearsals and there's fittings and there's
Costumes, makeup,
getting
the band together, production, lighting.
there's so much that goes
checks,
into
like-
making an hour show, happen.
Yeah, like that's the big thing here in Nashville because everybody's always like, "Hey, can your band or can you come and sing at this event for free?" I mean, it's great publicity. We're not going to pay you, but it's like, and it's only a couple of songs of your time. It's only 30 minutes or whatever. But then like, there's this a lot where it's like, here's all the things that went into that 30-minute set.
Mhm.
That are costly and time consuming. So that was a touch. And the funny thing was, I didn't say a word to anybody. Like, I was just kind of like, I don't know about that
Yeah, we
comment.
were like,
Everybody was coming up to us afterwards, was like, "Did you hear that comment? I didn't appreciate that comment." Da 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 da. And I was just like, "Ugh."
yeah.
But other than that little misstep, I think they brought a different light to the Colonel.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm interested to hear from you all is
Mhm.
because, like, what did you think about like the Colonel stuff? And if you watched the virtual and you
Mhm.
listened to the conversations, have you got the book already of Peter Gralnick? Have you started reading it? Have you read it? Don't give anything away.
I know.
But, what do you think so far? Like, I'm really excited to get the book and to read it and stuff because, yeah, like a lot of people were questioning this year as well. We kind of heard rumblings with fans and stuff of, like, why are they doing an exhibit for the Colonel? Like, la la la. But number one, for several reasons, I think this Peter Gralnick book is
Right.
coming out, and so it just coincided beautifully with that.
Mhm.
They had yet to do an exhibit specifically on the Colonel. They have all of the Colonel stuff because thank goodness that Colonel and Vernon were hoarders. Thank goodness they were hoarders and kept everything because now we have all this great stuff because again that's one of the things that I think is going to be interesting about this exhibit and interesting about this book is because nobody knows the real story.
Mhm.
The only two people that really know are Colonel and Elvis. They're the only two that could really tell you how they felt about each other, how
Mhm.
their relationship was, exactly what happened within their relationship, and they're not here to tell us. So, luckily, we have some letters and documents and photographs and things to be able to, look at and research and everything that hopefully can kind of, tell the story a little bit better. It's never going to give the exact story or paint the exact picture, but it's better than just, he said, she said, this is what I remember. This is what I remember. Well, I remember it this way. Or Elvis told me this. Well, yeah, he told me this. So it's so hard.
Well, and especially in the Elvis world, I feel like you always get like, well, I heard from so and so, and then he told so and so, and then my good friend so and so, then they told me.
Mhm.
Y'all know how that story's
Mhm.
get misrepresented.
Yeah, so I think like the Colonel stuff, is like interesting and everything. And like I said, I feel like as Elvis fans and stuff, we know a certain thing about the Colonel and Elvis's relationship. And I'm glad that they're doing this exhibit in this book and stuff because, when you really like think about Elvis, Colonel is one of the most important figures
Absolutely.
in his entire life. Of course you've got Gladys and Vernon, and you got Lisa Marie and stuff, and even like Priscilla and the relationship and stuff.
Mhm.
But really, Colonel and Elvis's dynamic and their partnership and relationship and all of that is the biggest.
Yeah.
And
like most long lasting.
Yeah, the most long lasting, the biggest, like in so many different ways. And so I'm interested to see and read this book to see what light does it shed on different things we've always heard or we've always been told or we always thought we knew.
I know, or our mind's going to be
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, like, you know, like, because there's so many questions I've
Yeah.
always had about Elvis and the Colonel. You
Yeah.
know, about the Army stuff, about the touring overseas, touring internationally, about the movies,
Yes.
about the whole Stars Born stuff. You know, so like, are we gonna hopefully get some information about that, you know, from this book and stuff? So where do you all stand on the whole like Colonel Elvis thing? Are you gonna read the book? Are you gonna keep an open mind? You know, and we'll definitely discuss it. Holly and I'll read
Yeah.
the book, and then we'll do like a little review and thing of it and kind of give our opinion, which again is always our opinion, which is worth 2 cents. But yeah, I'm interested to see if it does change our perspective of the Colonel. You know?
Yeah. Comment. Are you team open-minded or team villain?
Yeah, because like there was this one girl in the audience at the conversations when Joel Weinschenker came out to like, you know, just kind of do his like yearly update on like Elvis and Graceland and everything. And she was a younger fan, and she had only watched the Baz Luhrmann movie, and that's how she got into Elvis. She'd never been into Elvis before that movie and stuff. But yeah, she was like, why are you doing an exhibit of the Colonel? I hate him. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to like whatever. So,
and that's okay. If you don't want to know a thing about him, hey, don't go to the exhibit. Don't read the book.
Yeah. But it's very interesting. Like it is, you know, it is like the whole like Colonel thing. It's like I say, it's like the Priscilla thing. It's like, you know, people love, people hate. They have their reasons. There
are a lot of villains. I feel like villains in the Elvis world. You know, the three men that wrote the book, the book, the Colonel, Priscilla, Ginger, Linda. I mean, they all can get villainized at one point or another. But there's there's this side of the truth, this side of the truth, and somewhere in the middle is the real truth. You know, there's yours, his, middle. So you know, but I find it fascinating, and I love to learn new things. And even if it proves that they are a teetotal 100% villain, I want to know. I want to know all the bad stuff. So we're actually looking forward to that. We thought the exhibit was really cool. It shed some light on some stuff. Really interesting. I'm excited to read the books. Like I say, I don't know much about the Colonel, and I think he lived such a fascinating life before Elvis, during Elvis, and after Elvis. I'm excited to see all of that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
Yeah, I could go on and on.
I know.
There's like I have so many thoughts right now in my head about like the Colonel and
let's say
I know
Colonel special.
Yeah, about this whole like exhibit and book and everything, and like his and Elvis's relationship. But yeah, we'll do a whole like.
At the end of the day, we were excited that they brought all this out. We were wanting the exhibit. We wanted the the book to come out, so it was a positive for us.
Yeah. I mean, even through, you know, these exhibits and stuff, you know, whether you like the Colonel or not, you should still go see the exhibit because there's just some really interesting things about Elvis and about his career. You know, just this stuff alone, they had like a whole case and stuff because not just Elvis, but you know, people in the music industry, because Colonel had a career before Elvis, and he was big in the music industry with like some heavy hitters in the country music world, managing them. He was big in the industry, but a lot of people credit him with like merchandise, like basically like the creation of like merchandise. Like when you go to a Taylor Swift concert nowadays, and you got T-shirts and bandanas and keychains and program books and all this stuff. Which he was pretty much, you know, the one that kind of like started that and came up with that for Elvis. And there's a whole like case with all of that, you know, like merchandise, like Elvis lipsticks and Elvis perfumes and Elvis shoes and Elvis, like it's amazing.
And now with the streaming and like Spotify and Apple Music and all that, the artists now solely rely on their merch and touring for their money. Like the days of, oh, you're getting big royalties and you're getting a lot of money off these albums and all that is gone.
Yeah, the record companies are taking the majority of that.
Right, and the streaming services and all that. So as of now, every artist that's relying on their merch sales has the Colonel to thank. So, I mean, he's still influencing music today.
Yeah, so you're still going to learn things. You know, what I'm saying is, you know, even if you don't like the Colonel, still maybe see the exhibit because again, it's just cool to see the Elvis merchandise, to see the photos of Colonel and Elvis and, you know, different things like that. So,
yeah. Moving on. What do you want our next topic to be?
Let's
do something lighter.
let's see.
all the fun collectibles that are there.
Yeah.
Y'all, we've discovered, okay, well, we always have our tried and true John Daly Summerfest
Mhm.
that we adore at the Holiday Inn. It's right by Graceland. Heather always finds a gazillion treasures there. It was so much fun. They also had the auction with the Rockhurst
Mhm.
auctions.
Some cool
Y'all,
stuff.
there was a letter that I really wanted. And our friend Teresa, we were even laughing. We were like, maybe we could all go in together and then we'd cut it up. And then Heather was like, no, we are not cutting up a
No.
piece of history. But it was like a handwritten on the back of an envelope, like Elvis had written out just like some stuff to one of his girlfriends. And we so wanted it. But didn't it go for like $7,000, I
I
think?
don't know how much it ended up.
But that might be what it started out. I don't know.
I feel like it started. Like
I need to go back and look.
But yeah.
But so that is always so much fun. Then we've discovered it years ago, but the Travel Lodge, which is right down the road on the opposite side, they have so many good, it's almost like a flea market slash
estate sale
slash
garage sale.
well, but better. Like
Yeah.
it's like different little
Like
booths. Yeah, and it's all these people that have collected, and like Heather will show you when we do Heather's haul. She has a great story about this haul that she got there. But it's really truly people that have been Elvis fans for their whole lives, and they have all their collection. And sometimes people just they want to downsize, or they're moving, or they're getting older, and
Or it's a family member's passed away.
Right.
It's their collection, and they're like, we don't know what to do with all this.
Right. So it is a really awesome place. Next year we hope to go and do maybe a live from there or a
Mhm.
video. We were too timid to go ask them, but a few people when we were walking around, they were like, "Oh, hey, we know you, and hey, we watch your lives and all that." So I was like, "Heather, maybe we can ask."
I know, it was so funny. There was this one man, and I was like looking at all of like his little collectibles and stuff, and he goes, "Hey, it's you!" And I was like, "Me?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You're the girls that go all around Graceland and do all the cool Elvis stuff and show it." And then he's like, turns to his wife. He goes, "Hey, it's Holly and Heather." And I was like, "This is great."
So now we're going to try to.
I was like, "This is great." And he was like, "Oh, I love what y'all do." He's like, "It's so cool."
Yeah, so
and then all the other people were like, "Wait, who are they?" And then he's telling them, and I'm like, "This is amazing." Thank you, sir.
So that was fun. And then, of course, all the wonderful gift shop items that Graceland and the Complex had. Heather did a couple of videos.
Man, I know. I hope you all watched the videos. If you didn't, go back and watch them. Because, yes, I did a video of the Welcome to My World and Elvis Threads gift shops because, again, Graceland stepped it up on the merchandise this year. I mean, there were so many cute things and so many new things. I was sad that they didn't have, as far as like Elvis Week stuff, they didn't have quite as much. Like I always usually get a button and a magnet. That's kind of like my collectibles. I'll get like the postcard, the button, and the magnet. So for each year, so I can kind of like commemorate them. They didn't have the buttons and magnets this year. But all their other stuff, like the like sweatshirts, the like jogger sets, t-shirts, such a great selection in all of the gift shops of like Elvis stuff. So yeah, that's why I wanted to do videos this year because I wanted to share that with y'all because I know y'all would love it. And a lot of you were asking, I don't know. How you can get that stuff. They put some of it online. I would just keep checking Graceland.com or shop Graceland because they do put some of it online. They'll trade out every so often and put new stuff or whatever. But I feel like a lot of that stuff you can only get in Memphis and get at the gift shops and stuff. So
that was a fun thing. So all of our collectibles in this one.
It is not as she's gonna make it sound crazy.
We have to do a 3-hour haul.
No, she's gonna make it sound crazy. I really did not get near as much this year as I usually do.
Did you see her picture with her arms loaded? And she always is like, "I'm not going to have anything to show for my haul." And
I did not get near as much this year. She says that.
Guys, y'all going to side with me. You're going to Team Holly on this when we did the haul. No, Team Holly. No. So let's talk about, we talked about the Colonel exhibit. The other new exhibit, which I will say this.
Wow.
Woo, divisive.
You know what it was? Red hot. No pun intended.
So we finally got to see the red living room, the infamous red living room. And Heather knows more than me when it comes to this. Heather was like, I'm going to go and take a bunch of pictures of the exhibit and I'm going to post it. And I was like, I don't think anybody's going to really be interested in that. Like, no, nobody's going to really care with all the other things going on with Elvis Week. I was wrong. The post has gotten a gazillion views and a billion comments, and they're so hilarious. People get really invested in this red living room. And I know there's some haters. I mean, there's some people that hate it.
Yeah.
There's I think there's three camps. There the hate, like I absolutely hate it and want to burn it down. There's the, I mean, it was the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
and there might be like one to two that are like, I thought it was pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I thought it was interesting. It took me back because I was telling. I remember when I was little. My mama had red carpet in one of our houses. And we always thought it was hilarious. She had like royal blue carpet in one room. We had gold in another. We had that bright red in another. So I guess it was a 70s thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even because y'all know me and Heather, we are gaudy. The gaudier and flashier, the better. We love stuff like that. I will say there were a couple of items in there that I was like, I don't even think I'd put that in my.
I did love the lamps. Those oil lamps.
Listen,
I've got to get.
I'm obsessed.
I've got to get one.
Yeah.
I'm on the hunt for one.
Obsessed with the lamps.
Me and Argo, I think we're like on the hunt for one. He's been talking about it as well. And I know there's some on like eBay and stuff. I think they're going for like $1,000.
I'm just gonna start checking estate sales.
Yeah.
You know someone in Nashville's got one.
Yes. Probably have to get it repaired because I know even Angie said that they had these like in the attic or in storage all this time. And when they brought them out, they didn't work. And they actually had one of their team members that like was able to fix them and make them work. But those were super cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it like a lot of you all did. I'm still just confused about the whole thing with like Elvis and, you know, did he like it? Did he not like it? You know, did he help pick it out? Did he not help pick it out? Like we know that this was all like changed and bought when him and Linda Thompson were together. And they were together 4 years. She lived at Graceland for, I think, a little over 4 years. And during that time is when they did that redecoration of that red living room and stuff. According to what Joel said in the panel, he acted like Linda picked it all and did it all. So I don't know. I can't imagine that like Elvis wouldn't have had some say so in it. And I can't imagine, you know, whatever. And, you know, maybe he liked it at first. Cause you know how you are. You know how you get something and at first you like love it, but then
after a while
you're like, oh, this did I get? This is awful. So I don't know. According to like, you know, what is it, Aunt Delta? They say she says Elvis hated it. And so who knows?
Who knows?
But the other interesting thing about like the fans and everything is so that is how it was when Elvis died. It was still decorated in the red when he passed away. And when, you know, Jack Soden and Priscilla came in 82 and decided to open Graceland to the public, they made the decision, you know, for numerous reasons, I think, they made the decision to put it back to the blue and white of how it was when Elvis first purchased Graceland, how it was when Gladys was there, and, you know, make it that way. But I know a lot of fans have said, you know, I want it the way it was when Elvis passed away, you know, put it to the red. And then, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, don't do that, leave it the blue and white. And that was what was hilarious about that panel thing, because somebody actually asked Joel, would they ever change it and put the red back into Graceland? And he was like, no. He was like, we've done the display, we're like letting people see how it looked, how it was, but no, we will not be putting it back into Graceland. So what do you all think?
Well, I think,
did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you, you know, I mean, I personally, I'm glad that I got to see it.
Me too.
I'm glad that they set it up. And so I could see it and see kind of how it looked and everything and the furniture and stuff, but I don't want them to put it in Graceland.
Well, and I'll tell you this, as far as like Southerners in general have such obstacles and hurdles to overcome with the whole world. And, you know, a lot of the world that are not Elvis fans kind of, you know, think Elvis was gaudy and, you know, just, you know, how do I say it nicely? Just like, oh, a poor Southern person that came with the money and had no taste, So I feel like to overcome that, you wouldn't want that red in there. Because if you're, say, a not true Elvis fan and you're just going for the heck of it, or you're from, you know, not the South, and you go in there, I think that would be like, oh, well, I knew it. He had no taste, and he's just this poor country bumpkin that thought, you know, because country music artists have to overcome that a lot as well. So I think it's so beautiful and elegant in my eyes, and so Southern. I think it portrays him in a better light for the not. Like, I think if you're a true Elvis fan, he could have a trampoline in the living room, and everybody's going to love it. You know, because that's what Elvis wanted, and that's how it is. But I think if you're on the fringes, or you're not really an Elvis fan and we're trying to pull them in to be Elvis fans,
Mhm.
you need to keep it how it is, because it is elegant and lovely and wonderful, and it looks great at Christmas and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the you know, like I said, it's definitely worth seeing. You kind of like got to see it in person and everything. It is very red.
I mean, red.
It is red. But very interesting, you know, like I was telling Holly,
Yeah.
like just the ornateness of like the gold and everything. It is very king-like. It is very regal-like. It did sometimes make me think of, you know, Holly and I love to tour old historic mansions, and there's a ton of them here in Nashville. And we love to go see those, and like we've seen the Hermitage and everything. The like style of it and everything kind of did remind me of what, like, you know, dignitaries and, you know,
Yeah, they just wouldn't have gotten the red.
presidents and governors and things had back then. Well, I think they would have had the red, but it would have been in combination with other colors and things. I mean, this is like red on red.
Yeah, like I think you're right. I think if maybe there had just been a piece or two that was red,
Yeah.
and they were different colors. I
Yeah,
think
like if the carpet had been a different color.
I think the red is divisive.
Yeah, maybe the curtains had been like more muted, you
Maybe.
know, and then you had like the furniture and stuff. But yeah, it was a lot. So we were like, I told Holly, I was like, no, I'm going to post these because people I know are intrigued and interested and they want to see it. And I mean, it lit up the comments.
Yeah,
lit them up.
So if you want some laughs, go read the comments.
Get some popcorn and then read the comments.
Yeah, they are good.
Yeah.
What else are we going to talk about?
I mean, we've just talked about overall like other like
Briefly,
exciting
yeah.
shows and things. You know, yeah, like we said, this was, you know, such a cool Elvis week for us in so many ways. And again, kudos to Graceland and EPE, and kudos to the Elvis tribute artists for the shows that they put together and that they put on, because
Some of the best I've seen.
there was not a show that I walked out of that I was like, I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked out being like, I loved it. I loved every minute. I want to see it again. You know, it was like so great, and so many highlights of those. And we'll just hit on a few of them because we talked about some of them on our Graceland After Dark and our reviews and everything. But I definitely wanted to go to the final day and the Elvis on the Big Screen show, because it is always incredible, always amazing. It's so cool to see Elvis. And that one I think is produced and done by Andy Childs, which what a talent as well. I'll talk about another show with him in a second. But yeah, they put Elvis on the big screen. They let the live band and the singers play, which they're always fantastic. And it was just cool. He took you like on a journey of pretty much Elvis's whole career. Like, you know, it started out with like the 50s, and that was really cool. Because I feel like we don't get to see Elvis like on the Ed Sullivan Show and, you know, in the 50s as much as we do like the Aloha and the 68 Comeback Special. So to see him on the big screen and that band and singers playing with him, you know, like, oh, in the 50s was so cool.
Really good.
That was so cool. Like, you know, it just loved it. And the energy of the audience is always like, people get so excited, like, you know, when Elvis is on the big screen and like, you know, like he screaming and clapping, you know, when the song finishes. And then another special moment that is always the best is, so Estelle Brown was there this year. Love her. Of course, the Imperials were there because they got inducted into the Graceland Legends, which very well deserved. So they had original members, you know, Terry Blackwood, Roger Wiles, and Jim Murray. Such sweet guys.
Oh,
such sweet guys. And of course, Larry Strickland was there as well all week. He was popping into everything.
He was like popping up everywhere. But I live for that.
Yeah, we love Larry Strickland. Yeah, he was like everywhere, like in every show. But they were all there. And you know, Andy did that great thing where he gathered them all around the piano and literally took all of us on an emotional journey, took us back to the 70s. And he sat at the piano and he played all these beautiful, great, Amazing Grace, How Great Thou Art, you know, gospel songs and stuff, and kind of recreated all those moments and memories for Estelle and Terry and them of, you know, when they would finish their Vegas shows and they would go up to Elvis's penthouse and it'd be the wee hours of the morning. Elvis would just have all them gather on the piano and they would just sing and sing and sing and sing gospel till, you know, the early morning hours and stuff. And I'm telling you what,
it's always magical.
It is always magical.
It's always a moment.
Like literally, I know a lot of you saw the video that I posted. If you didn't, again, do yourself a favor. I did video that. Go on Holly's Facebook and check it out. Some of you probably watched the virtual. I can honestly tell you, there's nothing like being there in person.
I know, there's not.
I wish every single one of you, that is definitely one of those moments that I wish I could literally reach through the thing and pull every single one of you into that theater, because it is a moment like nothing you've ever experienced.
Mhm.
You can feel Elvis's spirit in that theater. You
Mhm.
can feel his energy and his pride. And oh my gosh, literally just watching Estelle and Terry and them sing these songs,
Mhm.
their vocals were just heavenly.
Mhm.
And it was almost like looking at them, like especially sweet Estelle.
Yeah.
It was literally almost like I literally sat there looking at her, and it was like she just melted back to like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like young Estelle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so great. It was so magical. So loved that moment.
Yes.
And then, I mean, what can we say about the Elvis tribute artists? Again, stellar group of guys this year.
They could literally take the shows they did, and put it for 2026, and I wouldn't be
I would
mad.
be
I
ecstatic.
would not
Yeah.
be mad.
Yeah, incredible shows. You know, a huge highlight that we've talked about a lot is the DNZ Unplugged with Larry Gatlin. That was also an emotional roller coaster and a moment as well. I mean, Larry Gatlin is he, you know, you just people. Some people are just meant to do what they're are meant to be doing what they're doing,
Genius.
and are just um so talented. You're like, how can any one human being be that talented? And that is Larry Gatlin. Like even just when his storytelling,
Oh,
like just the way he emotes and tells a story, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Absolutely incredible. Loved the addition of the other side of the track show with Dwight Eisenhower. Incredible. You know, I love those shows because again, it's like not like a full blown like Elvis in concert and the jumpsuits and everything. It's not, you know, like the Suspicious Minds and Poke Salad Annie and all of that. It's like digging deep into that catalog of Elvis's, you know, songs, because there's so many great songs.
Yeah.
And I love those shows because Holly does. She will literally look over at me and be like, I loved that song. I've never heard it.
Well, and I tell you what, these men can sing, whether
Yes.
they're singing as Elvis or themselves.
Mm.
It's not like you're at some rickety show where you're like, oh God, you know, like somebody's coming. Like these are all amazingly
Yes.
talented vocalists. I mean, there's not a bad one in the bunch. There's not one that like, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know about him. Like they are all so vocally talented. They make the song sound so great. And what does it do? It makes you want to go back and listen to Elvis sing it.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what I always do. It's funny because like if Holly and I like if she says that during the show or we get in the car and she's like, now what was that song again that Dwight sang that I liked that I didn't know? I'm like, let me pull up Elvis. And then I turn it all the way up and I'm like, listen to this. And then she's like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an incredible show.
Mhm.
Again, the gospel show with David Lee. I'm telling you all, if you
I'm
go to
telling
Elvis
you.
Week, you have got to go to this show. If you're just going to pick and choose shows, you've got to go to the gospel show. It is one of our favorites every year, highlight every year.
Mhm.
The talent of those guys, they're singing. This year was awesome as well because Larry Strickland came out and sang, and then he stayed to do backgrounds with all these guys, which I can't even imagine being the ETAs.
No.
I bet they were like on cloud nine because it's always cool to, you know, meet your heroes and stuff and meet the people that played and sang with and for your hero. But then to have them sing with you or play with you
Gotta be surreal.
has got to just be like, holy cow, this is great. So that show was just amazing. And again, I'm so thrilled, even if it was for one day, that my sweet Patrick Dunn was there. And go back and watch that video because he only sang one song, but it was a song recommended to him by David Lee, which there's no better person
No.
to give you a great song than
Yes.
David Lee. And I'm telling y'all what, it was a moment. Patrick literally, like, I could just feel his and
soul.
guts just like coming out like on that stage.
Mhm.
It was so incredible.
Yeah, and like I say, just one more time to touch on the David Lee thing. It's one of those shows too. Like, not that all the shows are the same; they're not, but they're all Elvis kind of centered and all this. This is just a refreshing, lovely show. Like you could take this show outside of Elvis Week and put it anywhere. It could go into a, I don't know, celebrating country music week or gospel week or whatever. Like it's that it can stand alone on its own, and it's just such a refreshing, wonderful, grounding you, you know, taking a moment out in real time show. So
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely awesome. So
Love
yeah,
it.
that's always a must see.
Mhm.
And then again, I cannot rave enough about the recreation show, the brainchild of Jay Dupuy of That's the Way It Is.
Jay Dupuy.
It was amazing, you all. I know so many of you reached out and you got the virtual pass and you were like, I watched it. I've watched it over and over and over. That's what I would have been doing. That show was so incredible. I mean, Holly and I were so excited about that show in general because, again, we built our whole kind of theme this year around That's the Way It Is. Which remind me to talk about the t-shirt in a second.
Okay.
We built our whole theme around That's the Way It Is. We love that documentary. We love Elvis jumpsuits. We love his songs. We love how he looks. And so we were so excited about this show, and it lived up to every expectation I had. The way that Jay put that show together with like the actual highlights of like Elvis on the screen and stuff, and then how him and Dean traded off. And each, had their own like segments and parts of the show. They recreated the rehearsal things and the rehearsal attire.
So good.
It was such a phenomenal show, and Jay and Dean were incredible.
I mean, it's the type of show they could just do a tour with it. They could do that. That's the Way It Is tour, recreation tour, and tour around the U.S. and internationally, and just do that show.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you, and that's such like a great idea. Like, I mean, I think these guys probably, because I think Jay did a recreation of it in Vegas when they did the Summerfest thing. And so, and I'm sure I think at some other festivals and stuff, they've probably done this before. Because I think I even was looking at something, and maybe, I feel like maybe Cody and Dean did a recreation at one of his festivals, but they should definitely do that. And even Dean made the comment on stage of, this is such a great idea and such a great show. Let's recreate everything. Let's recreate the Aloha. Let's recreate the Elvis on tour stuff, recreate like some of the 50s stuff. And yes, I'm all in. Yeah. I mean,
but once again, they could bring these shows back next year and I will be tickled pink.
Yes. Yeah. So that show was absolutely sensational and incredible. And then as far as the Elvis tribute artists, once again, we just have to say an immense gratitude and thank you to Dwight Eisenhower for sitting down with Holly and I and letting us interview him. He has always been one of our favorites. We literally were like reminiscing with him before the interview. And, Holly and I, like we said, we discovered this whole ETA world by watching David Letterman back in 2012. He had an Elvis week, and he had on at that time some of the ultimate winners like Cody Ray Slaughter, Ben Portsmouth, and he had them come on each night of his show that week and perform. And Holly was like, she saw it and she's like, oh, I've got to record this for Heather and tell Heather about this. And then we watched it and we're blown away. And we learned about Elvis Week. We learned about this whole world of Elvis tribute artists. And we went to our first Elvis Week and Elvis tribute artist contest in 2013. And Deansy won that year. So he was the first one we ever saw win. But Dwight was in the contest then. And that was when they had it over at the Orpheum Theater, which is beautiful, in Memphis. And I remember like right off the bat, Holly and I were so impressed with Dwight and so taken with him. And we followed him ever since then. And loved him and loved his, career and stuff. So for him to take some of his time out of his busy schedule and his Elvis week to sit down with us really meant a lot. We could do a part 2 and 3 and 4.
And maybe we will. Because then right after we like went off the air, we started talking about stuff, and he was throwing out gems right and left.
He's so
why did we talk about that? Why did we mention that? Like, so I was like, we've got to do it again.
So hopefully you watch that interview.
And hopefully now you're a Dwight fan.
Yes.
And remember,
I don't know how you couldn't be.
Dwight Eisenhower on stage is his Facebook.
Yes.
Y'all go and like it and follow.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, he does stuff year round. He's based in Florida, but he does stuff year round, and you will not be disappointed.
No. I mean, these guys are all
they're all great.
So great. They're so humble. They're so talented. They all have such a great like story. They've all like done so many great things and stuff that, we just love them. We just love them. So that's always a highlight. Always a highlight.
Yeah.
Let me look at some comments.
I know.
We've
been chatting it up. So let's see what you guys have to say.
I did also want to mention about our t-shirts, because in a lot of the pictures, I did kind of a recap
collage
of Holly and I and our Elvis week, like in photos, and that was not all the photos. I just tried to pick out. Well, actually, there was more I was putting on there, but I literally got to the thing, and it was like,
you cannot.
yeah, it was like you could not put more than 75 photos, and I was like,
Thank you.
so then I had to, so then I had to like go back and like delete some and figure out how to do some. But anyway, so many of you saw the mine and Holly's Elvis, that's the way it is t-shirts that we made this year. And you were asking like, where did we get them at Graceland? How can they order one? So goodie boxes are done.
I'm working on them right now.
We are working on them. Be patient with us. We're trying to work on them to get them out. But you can go to our website, which is tcbforelvis.com. And if you'll put /shop, it'll take you right to the page. But you can still get the t-shirts, the candles, the tote bags, the crossbody that we created this year. But that is how you get that particular t-shirt. And thank you all. Like, did you see the comments?
Yeah.
Like, it was so many people that were like, love the t-shirt. Where did you get it? How can I get one?
Yeah.
So go there for that.
Yep.
And then also, speaking about Elvis Week as well, the contest was incredible. The contest was incredible. Want to say a huge congratulations to Jimmy Holmes on taking the title this year, because it was some stiff competition. It was a really great
group of guys.
20. It was started with 20, and then they narrowed it to the 10, and then the 5, and it was stiff competition. Great selection of guys, but congratulations to Jimmy Holmes.
Yeah, we're excited for that because I don't know him real well. Like, we've never met him. We didn't really know of him. We'd only literally seen him in the contest. Like, I think we see him once a year, and it's when he's in the contest. So I'm really excited to see how his journey goes and to learn more about him and hopefully meet him in the future. So yes, big congratulations.
Yeah. All right. So let's listen to some questions and comments real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Carrie, who knows? Holly and I, hopefully we'll have a chance to do some more interviews in the future. Let's see. Shirley says the 88 special by Dwight was great. Yeah. Do yourself a favor as well. We talked about that in the interview. Dwight had just come off of a show in Vegas that he did called the 88 comeback special. Talk about a cool concept. Talk about a brainchild, cool concept and idea. It was literally like as if Elvis had lived and then had retired and then came out of retirement and did a comeback special in 88, but sang all the like hits and songs of like the 80s that you wish Elvis had sang and recorded. And he did that. And it was incredible. And you can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Angelique says she loved the Dwight interview. It was so great. Marilyn loves Dwight. Everybody says they absolutely loved the interview. We'll go watch it again and share it. Share it with your Elvis friends.
Well, because I'm telling you, I think this is a cute idea, and y'all let me know in the comments. Dwight did a post the other day saying like, hey, write in the comments like some song ideas that you like, and they have to be from August 16th, 77 till 88. It can only be in that time frame. Well, this one, we were brainstorming the car. She's already got 20 lined up. And I said, Heather, wouldn't it be fun if we got on a live one day, maybe next Sunday, we'll do a little segment and it's like, what should Dwight sing? And y'all, we'll all brainstorm and think up songs.
Yeah.
Then
literally the idea is it has to be that time frame. But yeah, think about, all the like songs that you love from other artists that you're like, oh man, Elvis would have been so good singing that. Because that's what I was talking to Dwight about, is I do that all the time. I don't know if y'all do, but I have Sirius. I have Sirius radio. I mostly listen to Elvis, but every once in a while I'll change the channel. And I love like the 80s.
Oh yeah,
80s, whatever. But yes, sometimes I will do that. I'll like hear a song and I'll be like, Elvis would have been so good singing that song.
I love this song.
Yeah, or that would have been a great Elvis song. So yeah, think about that.
I know. Maybe we'll do that next Sunday. That'd be cute.
Ian, it was so good to see you. We love hanging out with you during Elvis Week.
I know.
Yeah, everybody's saying they absolutely loved That's the Way It Is.
How could you not?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Oh, I love that. Jennifer says when Jay started singing Just Pretend, she cried.
I mean it. He was doing some good ones there. He was doing some good.
Let's see. Beth saying last time we were at Graceland, we stayed at Bartlett. Where did y'all stay? We stayed in South Haven, which was literally like 12 to 15 minutes. Super easy. Like go straight down Elvis Presley Boulevard. You just literally loop onto the interstate, go like 6.5 miles, and it's right there. And we stayed in like a particular exit that was great. It had like a Walmart.
We're
It had
having
like
a
food.
video on it, like to
Actually,
give some ideas.
Actually, the funniest thing about it is Holly and I stayed. This was like a new exit that we stayed at this year, but we stayed at this exit, and there was one night that we got done with all of our like, it might have been Graceland After Dark,
maybe,
when we got done with like all of our like shows and videoing, and like we were so tired, and again we remembered that we hadn't eaten since like 3 o'clock that day, and we were starving, and we were like, meh. And we literally pulled off on the exit. And I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Raising Cane's. It's like chicken, but you should be familiar with it if you're an Elvis fan, because this owner is a huge Elvis fan, and in every one of their restaurants they have a Velvet Elvis, a different Velvet Elvis. But anyway, we pulled off the exit and it was still open. And we're talking, this was like at what? It was
12:30, I think.
No, it was later than that. I want to say it was like after 1, and they were still open.
And we're so pumped. I was like, Heather, I see people in the drive-thru, and she like wheeled it in. I mean, because she's like, Holly, you can't be seeing that right. I'm like, Heather, there's 5 cars in the drive-thru. Just go.
Yeah. So it was great. So that's
that's
what we
see.
stayed.
Video about like happening places.
Everybody's saying that they so enjoyed seeing Patrick back, and they love that song. I know Carrie says she loved the moment with David Lee and Patrick Dunn. Aren't they the greatest? I mean, David Lee, he is just like
sunshine.
He just touches my heart. He's just like a gentle giant. He touches my heart. He is just like, he's just such a champion for Elvis, and a champion for the ETAs, and
for the Lord.
Yes, and a champion, and most importantly, a champion for the Lord, and for, I mean, he's just awesome. I love David Lee. I know Holly and I need to try to get to his festival,
because he's funny too. He's really got a sense of humor. I bet he does some fun stuff.
I know. Well, I told you that I was sad we didn't go this year, because remember I told you that like Riley and all the guys did like their tributes to David Lee.
Yes,
they did their impressions. So funny. So funny. I know a lot of people. Tammy says David Lee's coming to her town next month for 2 nights. Go. I'm telling you all, if these guys, Dean, Jay, Dwight, Cody, David, Patrick, any of them are coming anywhere near you. I mean, I'm talking even if like you have to drive like 2 or 3 hours, do it.
It's worth it.
Go see them. Let's see. Oh, hello, Roseanne. Are you and Tom recovered?
Hi.
Are you all recovered from Elvis week? Let's see. Jane says she loved the candlelight visual, but they didn't have it on too long.
Oh.
I know. I was wondering that. A lot of you all were commenting that. I did tape record the opening ceremonies, so that's on Holly's Facebook. And I'm still yet to post, because again, Holly and I still have a ton of clips and little short videos
going
and pictures to post and stuff. I do have. I took pictures of all of the arrangements at the meditation garden. I know a lot of you all love to see that, so I might post that today.
That'd be a good.
I might post that today for you all. But yeah, I know a lot of you were saying that like the candlelight visual, like it cut off on Graceland's thing after 2 hours. Do they usually show the whole thing?
I thought it's a 24/7 thing. Like, don't they just have the Graceland cam going on 24/7?
They do, like in the meditation garden, but I wonder if like they're like doing something like else. I don't know. I was just interested because a lot of people were saying it cut off.
Okay. Oh, and I see a comment. Yes, we're doing the scavenger hunt. We're not making it that easy on you guys this year. Last year and the years before, we always like really hint. This year, you're gonna have to dig. But yes, the scavenger hunt questions, as soon as Heather and I can put the finishing touches on them, they will be emailed out. It's only through email, because I don't like to put stuff on Facebook, because scammers try to like scam you out of information and stuff like that. So any kind of contest or prize or giveaway, we never put it on Facebook. So it will be in an email. If you signed up on the website, you'll be getting it shortly. It's probably going to take me a couple more days, but we will get it to you. If you are thinking, how do I get my email? Do not message it to me. Do not message it to anything else. Go to the tcbforelvis.com website. There's a contact form. Just submit it. And then because I'm just going to do a bulk email to everybody that submitted their email and send out the questions. And then you guys will have a couple of weeks to ponder them and answer back. And then we'll do our prize palooza. So that'll be fun.
Once again, the comments are not disappointing about the red living room.
Loving it.
But most people are like, eh. I mean, most people are like, it's not terrible, but it's not my taste. Don't put it into Graceland. A lot of people don't want it in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've probably only got half. Like, I wrote a little list of what we were going to talk about. We've probably made it through half of it, but we don't want to keep you guys on here for forever.
Yeah.
And
thank you. There's so many of you on here that are like, I met you at the gift shop. I met you at Gladys's. It was so nice to meet all of you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming over and coming up to say hello and introduce yourselves. And we really, really love that and really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's so nice to always see the people we see on Facebook that we already consider friends, and then you see them in person.
Everybody's on the hunt for an oil lamp. Me too.
I'm telling you.
Me too.
Y'all let me know if you find one.
Yeah. Just trying to see really quick. Just want to make sure we didn't miss anything.
But you know, Heather, she goes back and looks at all the comments later, and she'll try to answer what she can, or we may save it till next time.
Yes, Lisa, we did make it to the Peabody. We love that place too. Yeah, we always like to try to get there for at least a short time. And we like to go to land skis and see all that cool stuff and everything. But yeah, we had like a little break one day, and Holly, it was so funny because Holly calls it going off campus. She's like, hey, we have some time. Should we go off campus to eat? And I'm
it's like we're at Elvis University.
It is.
We're on campus.
It is kind of like that because everything's so contained. But yeah, we did jump over to the Peabody and got a little quick bite to eat. And like I said, toward the Lansky gift shops and stuff. So yeah, that's definitely go to the Peabody if you. And like Holly said, we're really going to try this year because it is leading up to the 50th. To do some videos for you all of how to get see places around Memphis and Graceland and how to get there and tips and tricks and things to do and stuff. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Anything pertinent?
I'm scrolling.
I don't want to miss a burning question.
Oh, I love that. Emma Rose is like, I reserved the Peter Grolnick book at my library, but three people reserved it ahead of me.
Oh, wow.
No need to buy a book like that. Library is there for such a purpose.
That's true.
Good idea. Good idea. Everybody says they can't wait to see my haul, and they're asking if I'm going to now invest in a U-Haul truck.
She needs one.
I mean, between the goodie box stuff that we have to get and just my craze of memorabilia that I buy and stuff, and then mine and Holly's luggage.
It's not pretty.
We could use one of those little small U-Hauls that you just not kidding. And then we should buy it, and then we should wrap it in Elvis. You know how those cars and vans wrap the
we
Elvis
need
wraps?
van. We just need an Elvis Week van, and that's all we do is we take it to Elvis Week.
Oh yeah, and gut the whole back where you just have the driver in the passenger seat and you gut the whole back. You can just shove stuff in.
Wrapping on it that's headed to Graceland or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Everybody's saying that they're going to read the book. Everybody's saying that they're going to, most people are saying they're going to keep an open mind and then reassess. Oh yeah, we didn't even really touch on this, but we talked about this in a couple of our other videos. Margaret was asking what was Ginger like.
Oh yes.
This was our first time.
I have her on the list. We just didn't get to.
This was our first time meeting Ginger. Again, thank you so much to our dear friend David Trotter. We appreciate you. Yeah, this was our first time meeting Ginger. A lot of you I know were asking in the comments, was she at Graceland? No, this was a whole separate event somewhere that they just had a Q&A with her. But we just got to do a quick little, say hello, get a little autograph picture, get a picture with her, and then stay and listen for the Q&A and stuff. But from what I could tell, she seemed lovely.
Yes,
she seemed very nice, very lovely, very down to earth and stuff.
Yeah, and it was just great. I mean, whether you like her or you don't, whatever, it's just great to get little nuggets and tidbits of information and stories on Elvis from all different perspectives.
Yeah.
I'm one that I want to hear it all from all the people. I don't want to just oh, I didn't particularly like that person, so I don't care what they say. I like to know everything because that gives you a more complete picture of the man and the myth and the legend. But I thought Ginger was
it was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting
stories
about her. Yeah, and kind of her life before Elvis and after Elvis. Because that's another interesting thing about Ginger is that she was so young.
Yeah,
she wasn't with Elvis very long, and she was so young. When they were together and when he passed and stuff. So yeah, I've never read her book. I think I might try to get it
Yeah,
and read
read
it now that
Everybody's very
now that I've heard a little bit from her. Because I feel like we didn't hear a whole lot about like the day Elvis died.
Yeah,
I feel like I really wanted to hear about like the day Elvis died and exactly from her point of view what happened and what exactly occurred and everything, because again, she's the one that was there.
Yeah.
She's the one that was there and the one that was right there in the first one and stuff. So I would have liked to have heard more about that and everything. I'm sure that's in her book, so that's kind of what makes me want to get her book and read it, is to hear about that. So
yeah, but I definitely, if she ever comes anywhere where you're going to be, I highly recommend it. She's lovely.
Yeah, again,
very approachable. Yeah,
Go
very
and listen.
approachable. And go and listen, because you never know, you might just hear something that changes your mind or blows your mind, or gives you a different perspective. So yeah, she was lovely and beautiful. Oh my gosh, she is stunning.
She is
stunning.
She is. Yeah, she really is. She looks
really
so
beautiful.
great.
Yeah.
She looks so good. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're gonna read the book. Stephanie's like, I've started reading the book, the Colonel's book, but it's 600 pages. Oh, and very small print. So she's like, I'll probably take me until next Elvis week to finish it.
Me too.
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Literally.
That you sound like
I know, and I'm like not a fast reader anyway. And I'm like the worst, because when I start a book, like I'll start it and I'll read like so much, but then I'll put it down and get busy. And then I won't be able to go back to it for like a week or two. And then I forget what I've read and I got to go back and read it again. So it'll take me forever to get
I've got
through
a
it.
system for the
I might have to get the
audiobook.
yes.
Maybe.
Oh, Vula, I can't even answer that. She says, what was your favorite part of Elvis Week?
I can't either. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Every day.
Okay, I'll say this. Elvis was my favorite part of Elvis Week. How's that?
I'm telling you.
How's that?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Oh, okay. Catherine says the Elvis Archival Preservation Society reviewed the Colonel book, and they have a unique take on it.
Ooh, interesting.
But she's got to read it herself.
Yeah, I got to read it myself before I can look at anybody's reviews, because that taints you a little bit like that. So I've got to read it first, and then I might go back and look at everybody's comments.
Yeah, but it is going to be interesting to see, what like all comes from it and stuff, because just like with the whole like Baz movie and everything, people keep going back to that, comparing it, and you gotta remember about the Baz movie. It was a movie, and you only have so much time to tell the story, and you gotta like change around things and time periods and stuff. But it's there like everything else to open that door to Elvis, to get you into learning about Elvis and researching and reading and doing your own research and doing your own reading and making your own, mind up and decisions about Elvis. I know, Catherine. She's like, whoa, if you know about performers, it's not just an hour a day. I know that. I think it struck a chord with Holly even more than it did with me, because Holly is a performer. And so she's lived that life and she's done shows and stuff. And
it's hard.
Who knows how much goes into that 1 hour that you're on stage. Like, it's not just that. So thank you, everybody. Everybody saying they enjoyed our Elvis week, and they love all the stories and the recaps and stuff, that they felt a part of it.
Oh, good.
I know. I love it.
That makes us so happy.
I know. Everybody's saying they love Tony Orlando and Brenda Lee.
I want to go buy like a vinyl of his, and like maybe next Elvis week when he's there.
Yeah.
When?
Okay. So Margaret, was it Brenda's dad she lost young? Okay. I know she talked about, I couldn't remember, one of her parents that she lost young. I guess that was what it was. Because then I think she was talking about like how like important and pivotal her relationship with her mother was, like Elvis and Gladys, and kind of like, how her mom kind of had to deal with the whole fame and stardom thing. So,
anybody else got something to say? She's looking.
I mean, there's so much. I know.
There's so many comments we get. There's a lot. There is a lot. And my iPad doesn't work, so I can't help her.
Yeah. A lot of you are saying, I do see in the comments a lot of you asking about like, oh, the Dwight interview sounded amazing, or oh, the Larry Gatlin thing sounded cool. Again, go back on Holly's Facebook and you can see it all there and enjoy it and stuff, because, and stay tuned, because like Holly said, we're going to continue to post some pictures and videos and things, so that you can see all the good stuff that happened during Elvis week, and just keep the Elvis week goodness going and continue to relive it, because it's worth it and I love it. But yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yes.
Are we going to maybe do my haul next week?
Maybe. We don't know what
Yeah,
we're doing.
we don't,
Maybe, yes.
I don't know. I mean, my haul, because I saw some of you also being like, "What did Heather buy? What did Heather get?"
Maybe
When's the
we'll do
haul?"
it. Maybe
So
we'll do it.
it'll either be next week or the next week.
Yes.
So it'll definitely be in the next couple of weeks. But yes, we will share my haul, so y'all can see what all I got and stuff. I got some cool stuff. I don't feel like I got a lot, but I feel like I got some cool stuff.
I got some cool stuff too. Like some of these things we're co-sharing.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
I'm
again,
excited about
thank you all so much. We are so blessed to have each and every single
Yes.
one of you all as a part of our Elvis community.
Mhm.
Continue to spread the positivity and the love, of Elvis, and share, like, comment on this video and all of our others. And we appreciate you.
Yes, yes. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, y'all. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye.